problems, everything, which is cool. I understand. I'm empathetic. I get it. You're right. But I told her at some point, I'm like, you got to trust yourself. You don't have to trust me. You have to trust yourself and your judgment, which is what you're lacking in a serious relationship.
Oh, yeah. Do you think one-night stands, in a sense, for females, affects them differently than males?
I can say so, but I think it depends on the person a lot. I think for guys, it's a trophy. It's a notch on the belt. It's an accomplishment. Say, hey, look what I done.
Yeah.
For women, I think that it depends on the woman. I don't know their perspective as well.
How about this? This is what I really want to ask. Do you think there's been a trend for more women being okay with one-night stands going on to the future versus prior?
I agree 100% with that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely would say you're right. I think the way the way the group of people, the collection of the USA, in fact, is going on, it's just like, hey, we don't need to value. And I feel like it's more rampant. Would I be happy 10 years ago with this stage in life? Yeah, probably would be okay with it.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But now it's like the great girls are hard to find. They're much harder to find than they were. Most of them are taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Now let's get back into the music tip. I see that you do some things with the radio. Can you explain that and how'd you got that?
Yeah. But I've been on the radio since maybe 2013. I think it was my first radio play, college radio, local radio. That one I got lucky. They like my stuff, and they're like, hey, we need some people to interview. Very similar, friend of a friend, and so I went in and did that, and it was so cool, bro. I was driving through Chicago, and then I'm like, let me put the station on. Second song was my song. I got so lucky. I just had like that weird vibe where you just get it, like you know what's gonna happen, and then it actually happens. And then I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So I had to crank windows in my old car. So I cranked down all the windows because I was stuck in traffic on the highway, and I lit up a cigarette and I'm bumping it, turning it up. I'm like, this is so cool. And I'm like, everyone's gonna love this. I'm like, ain't nobody know who this is me, but hey, I still love this one.
Yeah.
So that was real cool. So the college radio. Then I got onto a couple other radio stations more recently. 99.5 excuse me. 99.5 ALT. Been on there with my punk rock music because I just started doing punk rock over the last year or so, and I submitted it to them, and they accepted it. They said they liked it and it was good. So they played it, which is awesome. And then I submitted to a bunch of other different stations across like Illinois and Chicagoland, more specifically, and a couple other states. I don't remember which one it was. It's been a little while. So I submitted online, and then sometimes they'll take you, sometimes they won't. But they've taken some of my later stuff. So yeah, I'm trending in the right direction. And I think the toughest thing as an artist is like, is my stuff good enough? I ask myself that a lot, and I think it's very good, but I always feel like there's that next level, and that's what makes me want to work with like top tier artists and get signed by a label, is to get my music to the point where it's like perfect. You know what I'm saying? You hear that hit in the radio, whatever your favorite song is, you hear that, and you're like, that's the song. That's what I want. That's what I want, and I'm close and doing the best I can with what I got. But I want that. That's what I'm feeling in my bones. So I gotta have that.
Hell yeah. Have you talked or been in talks with labels?
No, not since years ago. And it was one label in Florida, and it didn't end up meshing out. Other than that, no.
Now, what led to your decision to go into punk rock rap a little bit more? Can you explain that?
I can try. I can damn sure try. I was just like sampling beats, and I'm not gonna lie, I always wanted to be a singer, but it's so much easier to rap.
Right.
And so I just like came across a beat, and I just started singing to it, and I'm like, it sounds okay. sounds okay. Let me just try this out. And I just made a whole song. Next thing I know, I had a whole album within a month. I had like 30 songs or something crazy in like a month or two. And I'm just like, oh my God, what did I do? This is what I love. So I just started running with it. And then I worked on my singing a little bit, did some vocal classes and whatnot. And it's improved a lot over the last few months, or last year. And now I'm doing punk rock.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Any shows coming forward that we can expect to see you?
You will definitely see me in shows 1,000,000%. I have a whole mastermind game plan with like business and work and music and shows and promotion. It's all the spider web of ideas that's stemming out of me. So I'm 1,000,000% in for shows. I just got to take care of a couple things on the other side of things, and then I'm going to be strong, full force back like it used to be. I used to do back-to-back shows, like three a week. Like, it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Great times.
Okay.
And real quick, one of the greatest shows I ever did actually was not any of my favorites, the ones I told you about, but there's one I think it's called Flanagan's, and I sing this song that no one's ever heard before. And the second time through the hook, everyone was singing the hook.
Yeah.
I was like, it was so cool, man. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I'm like, that's why I do this.
Hell yeah. Talk about Illinois' music scene and Indiana's music scene. Are they good? Do you think you'd be able to be successful as you are yourself, or do you think you'd be bigger somewhere else? Can you explain that?
That's a great question. That's something I need to ponder more, but I'm going to try my best to answer it. I think Illinois got arguably the better scene. Chicago is known for rap artists. It's one of the top cities. But I would say don't sleep on Fort Wayne. Got a couple good artists out here too. I think as an artist, the thing that I need to think about this more, but I think, in my opinion, I probably need to change up my style a little more for like rap. I think, and I've been thinking about this kind of lately a little bit, is like I want to be more true. Like I want to just come out straight, like, hey, I'm from the burbs. Hey, I'm this. Hey, I'm that. Because I realize I cannot compete with these gangbangers.
Right.
I don't know the streets like that.
They have more of the initial success because of what they're talking about, and people can just be like, oh yeah, he did just shoot up Blaza. Up the street and got away with it. It travels faster.
Yeah, and let's be honest, street cred is a big part of the game. I have very minimal. I know a couple people, but that's as far as it gets me. I don't talk to them all the time.
Right.
We're just real cool acquaintances and whatnot. I still love them, but I keep my distance.
Yes.
But it's like I can't compete with that. So I think the biggest thing I got to do is I got to be more true to me. I gotta attack it more from a perspective of who I am, and just hope that hits with my audience. I think that's the biggest thing. So I do have a song coming out with David Jacks within the next month. It's called Left Foot. I think it might be my best stuff I've ever done, and it's very recent. We're just waiting to shoot the video or get at least the lyrical video going. I think that one's going to be quite good, and that's kind of more trending towards my style. But I also want to be more like Eminem was in 8 Mile, where he's like, yeah, I am white. I am a redneck.
I am white. Yeah.
I am a redneck. I am whatever. Well, he just like he threw everything out there, and it was like, how can you not accept that? The guy's just being himself. That's what you got to do, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in the next few years?
I think I'm going to be rich as can be in about 2-3 years, owning my own business, and then also distributing hugely with my music. The business and everything I do is geared towards music. That's the ultimate goal right there for music.
Tell us your earliest memory of music, man, that made you start way back then when you said you were jumping up and down. How old were you?
That was the moment, and I was probably somewhere between 6 and 8, probably like 6 and 8 years old, somewhere around there. And it was,
who do you remember the song? Do you remember?
It was like it's like an Everclear song, or like a Vertical Horizon song. I think maybe Vertical Horizon, similar to that alternative rock music, ironically, is what it was. And I was jumping up. And then, of course, who doesn't love the classics of like the I want to say 50s, 60s or 70s or 80s. I can't think of the freaking name, but there's so many good music, like Sugar Pie, Honey Bun.
Oh, okay.
Like that. That style music too got me jumping too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, great stuff.
Can you tell us about how'd you get your name?
Yeah. Because we didn't tell it. Yeah. So pretty much with that, I was drinking in a friend's garage, and my buddy was asking me for advice about a girl, and I gave him some great advice. And I was thinking of being a rapper at that time. I knew I wanted to do it, but I hadn't picked out my name yet. And he's like, "Bro, you're so wise. You're like Confucius." And I'm like, "Confucius, young Fucius, perfect." Everybody was like young this, young that, young Jock, young Jeezy. So I just threw the young on there and it rhymed with Con. So I did young Fucius for a few years, but then after like 2-3 years, I'm like, I wanted Fucius the whole time. So I just cut out the young, and then I went to Fucius.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Changed the spelling too. Got rid of the O.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us, man. You got a message to your fans, supporters, and everything. You want to leave them with a message? Yeah,
I love that. I just want to say thank you for everybody. Shout out Ryan Lund. Always been a big supporter. Jacob Bowen. A bunch of other people in there that I love to death. Obviously, Mo Busy too. Awesome guy. He's part of my driving force behind that. So I want to say thank you to you guys. You don't have a clue how much this means to me, man. I could go in tears right now for how much this means to me. I just hope that one day I can make a hit song that y'all proud of. So that's what I want to do.
Hell yeah. Fucius.